I guess we're ready.
You're on.
Whenever you are.
Front and center. All right, we'll call the order of the Pryor Creek Rec Center Board regular meeting Monday, January 9th, 2023. Item 1, call to order. Item 2, approve minutes of December 5th, 2022 regular meeting. After review, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion we approve the minutes as presented.
Okay, approved by Riff.
I second.
Second by Marsh. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Item number 3, petitions from the audience. Strange woman following me up the stairs.
Not aware of any, sir.
Item number 4, discuss possible recommended council action regarding beginning the hiring process for Pryor Creek Rec Center Director position, which will be vacant April 7th, 2023. Job will be posted for 3 weeks from January 18, 2023 until February 7th, 2023.
Denied.
I second. Guys, it's not funny. Oh, okay, so
Meeting's adjourned.
this is kind of tonight, item 4 and 5. This is sort of a best case scenario if all things align and go, perfectly. So we're well aware that this is plan A and there could be plan B, C, D, but this is what we're shooting for right now. So if approved tonight, then this number 4 would go to council next Tuesday. Actually, it goes to budget tomorrow night too.
It would go to budget personnel
Budget
tomorrow night.
tomorrow night, council next Tuesday. If approved on all 3 levels, then we would open the job up the very next day, which is January 18th. And that would run until February 7th, which is about 3 weeks. So we felt like that would be adequate time. And within that time, we'll receive applications and start setting up interviews. So that's all for number 4.
I make a motion that we approve beginning the hiring process for the Pryor Creek Rec Center Director, which will be beginning April 7th, and post it from January 18th through February 7th, 2023.
Okay, motion made by Cantrell,
I second.
second by Walter Olson. You just went completely blank on me. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
It
any
was
opposed?
chicken.
It's the nugget.
The nugget, yeah. All in favor? Okay.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, item passes. Number 5, discuss possible recommended council action regarding hiring the approved Pryor Creek Rec Center Director applicant effective March 1st, 2023 at the budget receptionist front desk position, range A, step 1, annual wage $31,200 to allow for orientation and on-the-job training with the director. Effective April 7th, 2023, the approved applicant would move into the director pay scale at range G, step 1, annual wage $55,180.
Okay, again, this is best case scenario where it would work out for us and for the approved applicant and their schedule. But I won't leave until April 6th, so we thought, if you guys remember, we have 9 full-time positions budgeted, but we only have 8 people right now. So there is that receptionist front desk position that has not been used this year so far. So what we would do is bring the applicant in for that position and that pay, but just for that month. I think that's actually 5 weeks almost. And so for that month, while I'm still there, we could work with that person, Jess and I both, and kind of have, one-on-one training with them so that they feel more comfortable. And then on the 7th, they would move into the director position and assume the director pay at that point. So, of course, it depends on if someone can give notice in time at another job and if they can work for that pay for that amount of time. And, there's a lot of things to consider, but we figured if we could get all of this handled and approved now, it'll just speed up the process of getting someone hired and getting them on board in the next month or 2.
So if you approve this, what do we do if you have someone who's a qualified applicant and says, hey, I can't go to work for $30,000?
Then we would have to, when we take it back to you all we will have to have a special meeting in February, because this will close after our February meeting date. So we're gonna have to have a special meeting in February to approve an applicant. So at that time, we would probably have to approve hiring them starting April 7th. And then that would be passed on to council, and then they would just have to wait, and they could give notice at their job, and they could wait and come on April 7th. What I will do is I will spend that time making sure Jess, and giving her as much extra training as I can so that she would be the one training the new person when they came on board, which we've already started that, so.
I think, Dan, so your question basically was, is what if you don't find someone willing to do 31,000?
Exactly.
Right.
Okay. At that point, I mean,
It would be great if we could, but I didn't have that, Laura didn't have that, the ones in the past haven't necessarily had that one-on-one. So this is just ideal. It would be great if it happens. If it doesn't, the new person will be fine, because the team, knows what they're doing, and Jess can get the new person up to speed, and train them. It's just, if it worked out, this would be great. And we just wanted to pave the way for that if it's a possibility.
And I don't know, if there's anybody internal that, would want it or not, if we're looking at that too or not, as far as apps.
it's
That
open,
would-
it's open to anyone to
Okay, so
apply.
I guess that would just basically scratch that if they,
Right.
if somebody internal.
Right.
Okay.
So have you had anybody express interest?
Not yet, so,
I have a couple of people that have expressed interest that will probably be applying,
Okay.
so.
If we wanted to do the 31,000 for a month, why wouldn't we, if we found the right person, why wouldn't we just do the 55 starting in March?
Because we're trying to, because of budget constraints and, budget, this is already budgeted.
Gotcha.
And we don't want to go back to the budget committee to ask for more money to have two people at the same pay
Okay.
during
Okay.
that time. So the thought was, that since we do have a budgeted position at 31,000, they could start out for that amount, get some on-the-job training, get familiar with the rec center and what's going on there, and then whenever current director leaves, then they would move into that role. Now, to your question, obviously, you got to find an individual that's willing to do that,
right.
right? And so, at that point, I think if we don't find anybody that's willing to do that, then we've got to go down another road.
Right, and we're preparing for that too, so they'll be fine either way, but this would be great.
Just trying to keep away from having to spend any additional money that's not budgeted.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it'd be money well spent
Oh, absolutely.
myself. Because just do the math, you're only talking about, gosh, a couple $1,000 difference between the two. And to be able to have that person to spend 5 weeks with your current director, I think is well worth $2,000 additional that you're gonna spend. You're only
Over.
paying the extra 1 month.
It's true.
So,
Yeah.
I'm just, might be pinching pennies and saying, man, we could have had a lot smoother transition here by going ahead and doing this. Just a thought.
Well, I'm in agreement with you, but this has to go to the budget committee and then to the council. And with the last few council meetings I've been to, every dollar is adding up, so just saying.
Yeah.
We can approve it as a board, but then it's got to go to the next step, and we got to answer the question. But you bring up a very good point, because if they're going to only be there for a couple of months and they're getting a paycheck, there's not going to be that much difference.
No, it'll be 5 weeks, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your take on
Also,
that, Brad?
also, when you talk about the budget over a year's period of time, you could say that those monies have already been budgeted. They have already been budgeted, even if you paid, even if you paid the wage that they would be coming into, you could say those monies have already been budgeted, because we have not spent those monies that started
In the last 6
the
months.
budget year in July.
So would it behoove us, if the board feels, could we amend the motion to just say started out at the
I think it would be a
55,180?
good idea to amend the motion, just to start to start out, and to be able to be on board for that month for orientation.
How does that affect the budget agenda that's out already for tomorrow night as this?
Well, it would.
She can-
it would
they can
amend
send an
this-
amendment.
It would amend that one as
it would
well?
amend as
Okay.
well.
I mean, we have it because we've saved that salary for the last 6 months. We haven't used it. So, I mean, we have,
I haven't crunched the numbers to find out exactly how many dollars and pennies that, that would be. But you're taking that 31,200 divided by 12, and the 55,180 dividing that by 12, and basically saying, that's the difference.
24,000 difference, 2,000 a month,
Yeah,
just round numbers.
yeah.
I
I
think
think
it's
you're gonna
smart.
be more likely to get someone to agree to that versus to agree to come in at half the pay for a month. It's a big difference.
Well, and it's smarter on our part to
It's a
set
big
somebody up
benefit too.
It is.
Okay.
for success rather than just throw them out there and say, good luck, figure it out.
That's why we have a board meeting, to get everybody's
That's right.
thoughts and opinions. And this was just a proposal that we had set and discussed, and just trying to,
And to find
trying
the
to
right
watch pennies
person
and dollars.
to replace
right.
you.
So, who made the motion?
You've not had a motion yet.
Oh, okay. So whoever makes the motion, if you could amend the motion to reflect the range G, step one, annual wage, 55,180, instead of the 31,200.
So on item 5, I'd like to amend it instead of the 31,200 to the range G, step 1 to the 55,180, and approve hiring rec center applicant effective March 1st, 2023, to
Okay.
fill that spot, basically on the job training orientation.
Okay. Motion made by Cantrell,
Awesome.
seconded by Riff. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. And then, Mayor, you'll send this for the budget committee to be amended?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
very good. Thank you, sir. All right, item number 7, discuss possible recommended council action regarding the contract between Green Country Swim Club and the Pryor Creek Rec Center.
So you should have a copy of that, I believe, in your packet. I don't know if you remember the swim club contract from last time, but this is a little more detailed, or a lot more detailed than before. They are using the facility a lot, Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and they're also have requested extra time on Friday. And so what we've done with this is sort of change some of our fees with them to reflect that extra time that they're getting in the pool. So we have upped their fee from 20% of each swimmer's monthly fee to 30%. And then we have required that each swim team member child have a pool membership, which is just the $8 a month. But that way, I mean, if we have a trainer on the weight room floor, the trainer has a membership, the person they're training has a membership, because they're both utilizing our facility. So we look at it as the same way here. The swim team is giving us 30%, and then each swimmer also has a membership, which lets them come in on the weekend and practice, and they don't have to pay because they have the $8 a month. And so it should bring, right now, with what we were getting from them, with the 20% was about 350-ish, right? 340? Yeah, somewhere in there. This should get us up over 700. So it'll make us a little bit more money, which will justify the time that they're in the pool and the resources that they're using while they're in there. But if you have any questions about that, it's very detailed. And Tina has agreed to it. We've sat down and had a couple talks. They're going to provide us with all their insurance and certifications so that everything's on file. And again, this is just us making sure everything is current before the transition to the new director.
And just a little background on that, we did bring Tina into the office, and we sat down, Jessica, myself, and her, and Jackie, and just to walk through this contract with her line by line to make sure that they were okay with it. We kind of felt like that because of the increase, there might be an issue, so we just wanted to get it all out in the air and she assured us there was no issue and she felt comfortable with it, so. It just made it a 6-month contract because with a new director coming in, wanted to give them an opportunity to reevaluate the program, not be stuck in it for a year.
And the pool, the Pryor pool, or the Pryor Schools uses our pool, and their contract is effective September through May. So this will get, which is basically the swim team's timeframe, so this will get them on the same contract timeframe as the school.
Any further discussion? If not, we'll entertain a motion to approve.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we approve the contract between Green Country Swim Club and the Pryor Creek Rec Center.
Okay, motion made by Riff,
Second.
seconded by Cantrell. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 8, Director's Report.
Okay, so you remember I brought up the HVAC, the new unit for the group fitness room for the last 2 or 3 meetings. Steve Powell, they've had a hard time getting bids, but we are finally getting those in, so we've extended the deadline again, and we should have those in by January 13th, which is this Friday. So those will come to you in at the February meeting. This is for the new, this was the suggestion from Thomas, the engineer that we paid. He had 2 things that he said we needed to do as soon as possible. One was to replace the drain lines on the roof, which Jayco came in and did, and that's done. And then the other thing was to replace the HVAC unit over the group fitness room, because the one that we have now, he said, should have never been placed there, because for that room and the temperature we have to keep it at, there's constant humidity in there. That's why when I first got there, I had Casca come in and paint all of that. It's already all chipping away, the floor is slick, and it's a humidity issue. So this will fix it. It is money that we already budgeted for. So I will bring those bids to the next meeting, and we've got 2, we're just waiting on 1 more.
I got a question real quick.
Yeah.
Jess. So when we had the gentleman come in and do the analysis, and the third issue was the humidity, the wall between, and he came back with an approximate quoting of $1 million.
$1 million. Mhm.
Okay. Did he say in that report, if we just left it as status quo, what could there be issues down the road for mold or whatever's happening because of that? Was there any, did he indicate if there was any, if we remained at status quo and we didn't do anything, because obviously it's $1 million, what further damage?
I don't remember seeing anything about further damage. I think it was, the study was done to see what we can do to improve, but I don't think there was anything mentioned about further. But I'll look at it again, and I can email you all that report that I got from him.
I received a question about it, so I just wanted to
Okay.
bring it up in the.
Yeah, I'll look
council
at
and
it
just-
again.
And maybe we can revisit that and see, because obviously that amount of cost, because I even discussed with the same individual, it's $1 million, and
Yeah.
it's hard to come up with $1 million to fix a wall.
Well, and it's not only the $1 million to fix the wall, but it's also the loss of revenue while the wall's being fixed, because it's a long time that the pool will be shut down, which means we're not getting pool parties, we're not getting swim lessons, we're not getting memberships, so, yeah.
So, yeah, I think it'd just be good for us to know what the effects, long-term effects, should we leave it? I mean, it's been that way since we built it, but is it continuing to incur long-term effects by not fixing it, or was it just an option to improve that area up there?
Yep, I'll
Humidity.
double check.
So comment about that is that if we don't have an indication in that report as to that information, it would certainly be appropriate to ask
Yeah.
Thomas?
ask Thomas.
Okay.
Either formally or informally,
Yeah.
what he says about it.
Okay, I can do
I
that.
think it'd be good for us to do our due diligence there and then have that, and then as we continue to progress forward and we look at potential expansion in the future, then we certainly have something to add into that.
Right.
That may be able to help us there.
Yeah, for sure. Agreed. Yep, I'll get that to you.
Thank you.
Yes, okay. Credit card fees. I checked in with them again the last 2 weeks, and they are still struggling. It's a software issue, and I don't want to jump into adding a fee if we aren't able to handle it on our end, to make sure we assess the fee correctly, and then more importantly, that it's reported on the backside to Lois and City Hall, and so they're working on it, so I'm going to stay on top of them until we have an answer.
I was gonna say, we just found out today that's quite an expense for the Chamber of Commerce too,
Is it?
because we use the credit card for our lunch forms and stuff, and I seen the expenditures today on that, and it was somewhere near what we spent last year.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So the
the rec
people
center.
that set up the computer system, they're having a hard time knowing how to put that fee on?
Yes, so
and to make things,
our software is communicating with our credit card company, and they worked together in the past, and so I assume, I mean, they always work together, so I assume that it was something that was already done, but basically, it's a software issue where they're having to write a new software of some kind to accommodate, to where basically, no matter what we put in the cart, it automatically assesses a 3 whatever % fee we decide on, and gives us a total, and then on the backside, it goes to the right revenue stream, or actually, it's not even a revenue, it's going back to the credit card company to offset what we're being charged. So it's just, they're trying to, figure out how that all works. So we're patiently waiting.
I just think it's pretty common right now.
I know.
And I would feel like if that person can't get it done, there's somebody, because when we decided to do that, and it was a big step, and a group of restaurants around us all decided to do it together, and when I talked to our computer person, she said, sure, you want to do it? You want me to do it right now? And I was like, well, hold on, wait. Let's talk about this a little bit, because I felt very uncertain to do it. And she just made it happen immediately. So I just don't know if it's not something like go to somebody higher, because it's very common right now.
Yeah.
And it's a
Or
lot of
look into a
money.
different credit card company, or just tell them if
Absolutely.
they can't make it happen, then we need to go shopping. Because I think our contract renews with the credit card company and Rec Track. We usually pay that right at like August, so that's something that we have time to shop.
And maybe they were holding off until after the first of the year. Or
I don't know, I'm
their part.
floored. I don't understand what is taking so long. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, I would say.
But I'll see if I can put some pressure on them. If I mention another credit card company, that
Yes.
might do it.
Maybe they may, really.
Yeah, that might do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you all were aware of the timeline, but we shut the pool down for the pool pump repair over Christmas break, and it was gonna be shut down like the Tuesday through the following Monday. But Brian with Electrical Services and Jackie, they pulled it on Tuesday, it was back in on Thursday morning, and the pool was open Thursday afternoon at 4.
Wow.
So that was great, and we called some of our most loyal swimmers that had been asking, and they were able to come in Thursday afternoon and start swimming, so they were very grateful. Okay, finance report, I'll hand out mine real quick, and then. December's typically not a great month, but we were actually up a little bit.
Yeah.
So you can see memberships went up a little bit. Facility rental is 5-tool basketball right now. Pool parties were down, but it's the holidays, so we expected that. The two areas where we were up was merchandise and guest pass, which that's our kids coming in and our basketball players in over the break, so we
That's me
expected
buying
that.
a,
Do what?
that's me buying a Skittles every time I go.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay awake. And then you'll see the events, $509. That was actually a gift certificate. Someone came in and paid for their son and like his 3 boys for a whole year's membership or something. So that should have actually been in gift cards, but it got input into events. So, and then swim team had not paid us in November, so that's a little bit higher because they caught up for November and December. So, and then he's got the detailed report for you. Pardon my mess here, Mayor.
So you have that on your desk, and this is a November 30 report. This is not a December 31st report. We've not closed out December yet, so I could give you numbers, but they would not be accurate. So I'm giving you a November 30 report. So you got at the bottom right-hand, says page 56. That shows you a fund balance of $993,871. The total liabilities and equity at $903,000. And the next page,
Can I ask a question?
sure.
How come we keep so much money in cash instead of like where you've got 670 in investments? I'm just curious as to why there wouldn't.
Our city treasurer is the one that manages that, and so that would be a question for our city treasurer. So they manage the investment accounts and to manage the amount of cash that we keep in there. There have been times where that cash level got low, and so we had to take money out of the investment account and put it back in cash. So that fluctuates over time.
I don't mean, it just seems like $250,000. It seems like a lot of money.
It does to me as well, and that's a good
Whereby
question.
we could maybe have it someplace making a little something.
Yes, sir, and that's a good question. I will ask that question of our city treasurer. Thank you. And currently, so looking to page 57, showing how the money came in. Some of those numbers are consistent with the November column on Jessica's report, and some of them are not. Most of them are consistent. Turning to page 58, I look down through, as you know, I look down through the percentage line item on the right-hand side, and I take those percentages that are over, and I ask myself questions, well, why is that over? So if you look at computer tech support, that number is over percentage-wise compared to the year, 42% of the year, that we've used 82% of that. The utilities, showing at 54%, and I'm surprised that that is as close as it is. Utilities is at 50-51 line item, and we're at 54% there. The outside services, the 50-75, we're at 72%. We did not schedule too much in that budget line item. That mainly is for engineering services on some of the things that has happened this year. The capital outlay item, which is down at the bottom, that's equipment that we've purchased and that was budgeted to purchase. We've got about $12,000 left in that for the rest of the year. We do not, right now, excuse me, we may or we may not spend that. What comes out of the repair and maintenance, what will come out of the repair and maintenance will be the air conditioner thing, but I believe there's 22 weeks lead time on getting that in. So that may or may not be, through this fiscal year anyway. So moving over to the next page, page 59, the aquatic supplies are a little bit up, but we do a good job managing that, and excuse me, Jess does a good job managing that one. The child watch item, we're in real good shape. The fitness item, we're in real good shape. The next page indicates the net revenue over expenditures, and you see that that's in parentheses because for the year to date, we're 126,000 less than revenues. And that was budgeted to be that way because of the repairs that we've done. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions.
So next month's meeting, we'll have a December snapshot, so it'll be pretty much end of the year what we look like.
We'll have December snapshot next month.
But that's not the end
or-
of the fiscal year, it's from July.
through.
It's halfway through.
Yeah,
6
yeah,
months.
July.
Yep.
July through June. Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Oh, let's see. Swim aquatics report. Swim parties for, it says November, but it was December. We had 11 public and 3 private. Her chlorinator is down right now, but she's ordered a part. Gary will be there tomorrow to get that fixed. She's just having to hand put the chlorine in, but we should have that up and running by tomorrow. And then she has a lifeguard training Jackie does that she's gonna hold this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That should get the rec 3 more guards. So we need that. I think we're down to just 3 right now, and then we have 1 girl helping while she's home from college, but we need the guards. So, we should be able to get 3 more, and then we will make money on anyone else we train. I think $150 is what she's charging for anyone who's not gonna work at the rec. And then miscellaneous report, we had 74 new members for December, and we were able to retain 83%. So again, trying to stay over that 80%. Just a couple reports on our group fitness, different challenges. Jimmy the Elf, everybody loves Jimmy the Elf. We actually had over 100 people participate. He was cited 401 times, so believe it or not. And we had 3 winners, Jeremy Pruitt, who won a rec center sweatshirt, Kelly Trammell got 1 free month membership, and Mike Seal received some free guest passes for the weight room and pool. So believe it or not, it's one of our most popular challenges. So we also wrapped up.
Didn't require any effort, did it?
Brittany loves it, and Brittany will not help you. If you can't find it, you're on your own. Maintain, don't gain, we finished that one. We had 166 people sign up. The schools actually had 23 sign up just from prior schools. We had 98 people maintain. So not as many as last year. Last year we were over 100. But with those 98 people, the total pound loss were 314 and a half pounds.
Wow.
So pretty good for Thanksgiving to New Year's. So that was very good. Yeah.
Terry, I didn't know you lost that much weight.
If you want entertaining, you just come hang out like that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday when people are weighing and they have to go walk upstairs like 10 laps and then they come back, 0.1 over. So, but they get it. And then this month, I don't know if you've noticed all the shoes on the wall if you've been in, but Kelsey started a January Step Up Challenge where you're supposed to track your steps daily and send them in to her. This challenge has gotten so much attention. It's crazy, but we have 73 people participating. 73 very competitive people participating. And we now have seniors are in their own. They have a gray shoe. They're in their own category because they do not run, so they do not want to be put with any runners.
There's a gray shoe.
They have a gray shoe.
Do I fit into that category with my?
Silver. It's not gray, it's silver. It's silver.
Oh, okay, that sounds.
But it's very cute. They're loving it. So you'll see, if you'll notice now, as you get steps, the shoe moves. Every Monday, your shoe will move.
So what is the senior citizen age?
It's just if they're in, I think if they're in those senior classes.
Because I got 1 more year and I'll be 55 and at least get the discount.
No, that doesn't qualify. Doesn't qualify.
Darn it.
We even had someone request that their pink shoe be taken down. They needed a silver shoe too. So,
Oh.
yes. Some of us take our own shoe down because we're tapping out now because we're getting beat already. And then our class sizes were down in November or December, but everything is going really well. We had 26 this morning in our swim class. The land silver sneaker classes are booming. And then we've added an afternoon class. So now silver sneakers is offered 5 days a week. So on Tuesday, Thursday, they can come at 4 o'clock, and she's had 5, I believe. And then we're also offering a later deep water swim on Tuesday night, and Kelsey had over 5 for that one. 7? 5. I can't remember. But anyway, we didn't know how they would go, but the classes are going really well, so. And then the only other thing, if you'll remember last year, we did a locker clean out and kind of got rid of, and so Jess has been working really hard this past month on letting people know their locker fees are due and collecting money, and then she spent this weekend after hours cutting locks and getting everybody's stuff out that, they've been given plenty of notice, and they even got an extra week, but we've got a lot of new people needing locker
Can you come
space. so-
volunteer at the chamber for a little bit?
You can't have her.
Oh, did I say volunteer?
That is the key word.
Oh, okay, I think that's everything. Do you all have questions? Is there anything I forgot? I don't know.
No, we appreciate you guys very much and what you're doing at the rec center. I think it's being seen, it's being noticed, and so we certainly appreciate it.
It's an exciting place to be right now.
I do believe we denied that request.
We did in our staff meeting this morning.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
All right, thank you. Item number 9, unforeseen business.
No.
Seeing none, we'll take item number 10, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Riff,
Second.
second by Cantrell, all in favor?
All right.
Aye. Thank you guys very much for your service. Thank you.
Well,